What's up, people of the world? Making another video. So in my last video I talked about some experiences I had of holiness and relating to the desert. And it couldn't be more of a contrast from the rainy weather we have here in Santa Rosa these days, but it's keeping me positive. It's checking my attitude and remaining in line with that which is sacred. So each time I drop tobacco to the earth, I think to myself that's something reverent to do. Each time I enjoy something to eat, I say a short prayer before eating. This constant practice of reminding me to be in alignment with God and the power that be. I'm sort of just talking out of my bottom right now. I don't really know what to say, but words are coming out, and that's a positive thing. I feel stuck. I feel scared. Every time I start a video, I feel scared there are going to be people that walk out onto the porch around me, and I feel this fear. It's more than anxiety. It's afraid of being heard. It's afraid of being genuine and being seen while I'm being genuine. I don't want to be seen. And I know that that's contradictory to the aims of the video. I make these videos sitting 1 foot in front of a camera talking, obviously to be seen, but I have this fear that goes so much deeper that I know needs to be handled and confronted so that I can grow into the courageous me that exists. I'll do my best. I'll put my best foot forward. I will be a bigger, loving person. Love big. I learned that the other night with my mom. Be bigger. Don't be petty. Don't resort to old habits or old tendencies. Don't argue when you're wrong. Just admit you're wrong. Sometimes, even when you don't think you're wrong, just admit that you're wrong. That you did something that has a flaw. You did something wrong. And you can heal the situation with peace quicker. Now, I'm not saying that a person should be crippled in the sense that they don't have the capacity to confront or argue for what they believe in. But the experience I had just the other night demanded of me a more loving and understanding experience, understanding that I would be a hypocrite had I argued. Me and my mom are both going through a hard time. And the fact is, when there's so much love that is simply a fact and it's tangible and it goes sour spontaneously out of nowhere, the best thing that could be said is possibly to say, I did something wrong, I'm sorry, and to find that equilibrium again. So I'm talking about personal details of my life. I know my mom wouldn't appreciate that, but we got into an argument and we fixed it, and I left her a message on the phone after she dropped me back home. And the next morning she said, I really appreciate the message. I love you. I'm sorry too. And just as we get older and we grow more mature, there's more that can be said from a humble heart. My heart feels aches. My heart feels sadness. My heart feels somberful. My heart is in a very exasperated place. And I want to heal it. I want my heart to be happy. And I want to let go of trauma. Sometimes I just have this nerve pain on my heart, sleeping or even up during the day. Just this constant nagging, this gentle friction on my back. And I've been touched by people I didn't want to be touched by in hospitals, the employees there at mental hospitals. And it's very damaging and very traumatizing to be touched when you don't consent to being touched by strangers, held down in violent situations, injected with Halidol, which is generally what they injected. But these nerve neural pathways are healing in my body, in my brain. And my mom is there for me, and I'm real glad if I can offer some positivity toward the motherly bond, so to speak, in this video. I would be an advocate of it. I would say love your mom deeply. Love her with an eternal, infinite love, the love that she raised us with. Each of our mothers have loved us in this lifetime, and it is a divine gift. And that may be the only thing that could heal me from these experiences and traumas in mental hospitals. Coming back to home base where I was raised from a mother, and she knew me before all of those times when I was deemed imperfect or defective. So I'm making this as a therapeutic video. I know that. I make videos generally around 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I'm going to aim for another 10 minutes at least. But there are some things that are coming to my mind. I'm working on forgiving my mom in the moment, but I'm also working on forgiving her in the long term. And there's this resentment that I've held for my mom and my sister for turning me into the mental hospitals at all. If they hadn't have called the crisis stabilization unit, I don't know if I ever would have gotten better and been more selfless and able to see the whole picture. And at the same time, I don't know if I would have never had those horrifying experiences in hospitals, being strapped down to beds, full of noise, people crowding to hold you down to get medication, force medicated. They really demand compliance, and it's a very frightening thing, mental hospitals. And I don't even realize that that's what I'm holding on my head right now. At the beginning of this video, I was clear-headed. But something needs to be handled. Something needs to be talked about. I have to go deeper, and I will focus on forgiveness for my mom and my sister, because there is this sense of personal resentment that I hold toward them for hospitalizing me in my early 20s. I will have to get past that. I will have to see with a bigger love that they were concerned for me, and no matter how much I expected fearlessness of them, they had fear. I had a high expectation for myself. I had a high expectation for the relationships around me and for people being big and powerful. But when there was a struggle for power, what ended up happening was I was hospitalized. A struggle for power anywhere led to hospitalization. I'm struggling for power with people that love me, and that need not be. My mom and my sister love me unconditionally, and I know this to be a fact. I will have to let it go. There are other people I know out there that may come across this video and can relate to it. How do I forgive my loved ones for putting me through such hellish experiences? Well, the answer is you practice prayer. The answer is you practice forgiveness. The answer is you tell them to their face on the phone, over Facebook, when you're out with each other at the park, when you're getting dinner together, when you're cooking together, when you're running errands, you tell them what's on your mind. And you stay open, and you don't let that avenue, that channel, flood. You don't let it build up until it's pent up and frustrated. You tell the person that you love that you forgive them. Maria, I forgive you. Mom, I forgive you. You tell them you love them. Mom, I love you. Maria, I love you. You tell them that you hope for a better future. Mom, I hope for a better future. Maria, I hope for a better future. You tell them, Mom, I know we can get through this. Maria, I know we can get through this. You also tell them, because they might be ignorant of the situation, Mom, Maria, I've harbored a lot of resentment for you over the years. And I would like to tell you that what you did was out of concern for my well-being and your own, and you felt that it was necessary to call the institutions of mental health to bring me into their custody. And you try to be understanding. So I'm trying to be understanding. I'm trying to open the horizons of my mind to be more mature. I feel scarred. I feel wounded. I feel defective. I feel damaged. I feel like damaged goods. And what a horrible feeling to feel like I could never find love again. What a horrible feeling that I could never find happiness again. I feel severely that I've been hurt by the institutions of California. They've hurt me. And the only thing I can do is complain online. The only thing I can do is talk to my mom and my sister when I go and run those errands with them, when we spend our quality time visiting, getting things done, or more relaxed and just being at home with each other. The point is, I need to rise to the occasion and have a big love. That big love will heal me. That big love will flow over me. I will overflow with this love that is unconditional and ever understanding. It's very painful. This is just the beginning of my healing. I can see now. I know it's very difficult. I know there are some things that I should say and some things I shouldn't say. Maybe I shouldn't have said my sister's name on an internet platform, but I did, and that's okay, because my attitude is in the right place. I am starting here. I will probably make videos talking about the mental institutions of California again, and all the emotions that are within me that need to be expressed, all the different stances, opinions, beliefs, all of these things that are ever changing and have built up and need expression now after transitioning into a transitional house where I'm at and being stable again and autonomous and being able to rely on myself, self-reliant. But this is where I'm starting. I have a big love for you, Mom. I have a big love for you, sister. And we're going to get through this. My problem is your problem. Your problem is my problem. There's no way we can talk again in the future where I can change what I feel. I feel the way that I feel. And if you love me and accept me, we will be able to have conversations that go in depth, that bring healing to both sides and understanding to both sides, you and me. So I'm starting here and I'm laying the framework. I think that's the right thing to do. And I'll be keeping up to date in the future about what I feel, what I'm going through. Anyway, I sorted things out with my mom. That's good. My lady's birthday is coming up, my girlfriend. I thought of her a couple minutes ago because I constantly feel this doubt. We talked about it again the other day, where when we're not talking, we feel doubt with each other. But when we talk with each other, we feel all this wholesome love that is just undeniable and tangible. This love that we have for each other, me and my girlfriend. But I was thinking to myself when I said I'm damaged and I'll never be loved again. I thought to myself, there is no right partner except for who I have right now. I don't think that I would be able to be loved by a new girlfriend if her and I weren't together. She's up to date. She knows what I've been through. We've talked about it all through the years that I've been going through these mental health treatments, and she's been there to love me. And I feel blessed. One more thing that I don't have to overcome, one more obstacle, which is to find a new partner. I have a partner who's been here for me for almost 10 years, and she loves me, and she loves me unconditionally. And I've been nasty to her. She uses the word nasty when you're just awful or mean. I've been real nasty toward her, and I've barked or growled, so to speak, before biting. And that was very inconsiderate of me. And I've cursed her out. I've done all these horrible things that I need to make peace with. And the same comes from her. When we get into arguments, they're bad, and we don't argue anymore. And me and my mom don't argue anymore, and me and my sister don't argue anymore. It just seems that there's this place of peace that we're resting at. We've been through all the drama, and we don't do the drama anymore. But I still have something that needs to surface because it's making me sick. They could tell me go see a therapist, it wouldn't be the same. I need my mom and my sister to take accountability for what they did to me. It was horrifying. I felt like I was abducted from my house. Men showed up and put a spit bag over my head because I was spitting, and then they put me in an ambulance and brought me to a hospital, strapped down in a stretcher. They call it a gurney, I call it a stretcher. It was horrifying. And that's what the government did to me. That's what the government did to me for supposedly being bipolar. That's what the government did to me for being a nocturnal person that doesn't comply with the norms of society, that likes to be up during the nighttime and play loud music. That's what my family did to me for arguing with them and saying, I don't agree with the way you live. I think that there could have been another way of treatment. My family could have been more patient. My family could have found a way to get me a room in a different house where I could be on my own and learn these lessons on my own. But instead, they hospitalized me multiple times, maybe 20 or 30 times. And it was horrible. And I'm still talking at the same time about this blessing of having a good partner, my girlfriend. I'm still talking at the same time that me and my sister and my mom will have to have these conversations at some point. If they love me, it will surface. So my mom and my sister and I will talk. Me and my girlfriend are a blessing. And it still feels unfair that I was hospitalized. And I need to be bigger and have a bigger love. Because it's the only way that I will get to keep the gift of family that I've been given after all these years. There are moments of such clarity that pass over me with deep, mature understanding that my sister is a gem and I love her, and my mom is a pearl and I love her. And I'm so blessed to have a family. But there is this hurt part of me, which my mom says you have to pull it up by the bootstraps. She uses that expression sometimes. I will just have to handle it on my own. I can't go and cry to my mom and my sister because it just can't be solved that way. I have to be a grown man. I'm not a little boy anymore. And the core of that betrayal was mistrust. There wasn't trust in the relationship when that happened. It was a stabbing in the back feeling. So I will have to go out into the world and find my own solace. I will have to go play music. I will have to go exercise. I will have to go work. I will have to go study in university. I will have to persevere and let go. I know how I feel, but it takes more energy to hold resentment than it does to forgive. And so it's making me exhausted. I didn't even know this was all on my mind. It's somewhere in the unconscious mind. But when I started this video, I was adamant about it finding a direction, and it took a direction which I didn't expect. But these are things that need to be talked about. My mom and my sister and me and my girlfriend, and me continuing forward until I find solace. So that's that. For whoever this helps, I'm glad. It helps me. I'll post it now. God bless. Baruch Hashem. Amen.